من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نويت الأربعين نويت الاعتكاف نويت الخلوة نويت العزلة نويت الرياضة نويت السلوك لله تعالى العظيم في هذا المسجد. Inshallah, this session we will try to understand Surat al-Infitar, Surah 82. Try to see what are some of the meanings that we try to explain as much as we can. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا السماء انفطرت وإذا الكواكب انتثرت وإذا البحار فجرت وإذا القبور بعثرت علمت نفس ما قدمت وأخرت يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك بربك الكريم. إذا السماء انفطرت means when the sky is cleft asunder, when the sky is broken apart. إذا السماء انفطرت, when the sky is broken apart and when the stars are scattered, when the oceans are suffered to burst forth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning us. Warning in two meanings. Means when always people, when they look first, always a human nature. No one looks down. Where they look? They look up. Everything they look coming, and that's why the surah began with heavens, skies. إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْفَطَرَتْ, when the sky is cleft asunder. Right? To see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing you when this thing that it is all together a firmament built together in a very sophisticated way, all of them holding each other. When that will burst, explode, when it explodes, what will happen? إذا السماء انشقت, when it's split apart. When it's split apart, what will happen? Allah's signs comes. When the egg open, Allah's signs comes out. When the womb open, a birth come out. A new era, a new cycle coming out. When the earth open, a new tree come out. When you plant a seed, something comes. So it doesn't open without a wisdom. It open for something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is preparing you for it. Allah is telling you, oh my servant, إذا السماء انشقت وإذا الكواكب انتثرت وإذا البحار فجرت وإذا القبور بعثرت علمت نفس ما قدمت وأخرت. When the sky is cleft asunder, is split, when the when the stars are scattered, when the ocean are suffered to burst forth, and when the graves are turned upside down, means it's something that's coming up, what will happen at that time? Then shall each soul know what it has sent forward and what it has kept back. At that time you know where you are standing, what is your position. So Allah brought that picture of last days in front of you. إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انشَقَّتْ. It divide means something going to come forth. What's going to come forth? Your questions and answers. Allah is going to question you. That's why in the fifth verse, it says, عَلِمَتْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ وَأَخَّرَتْ. That time, the soul will know, or you will know what you have done, good or bad. So when that skies divided, it is said that angels will come out. This descent of angels, they will be given permission to move toward what is being inhabited, which is earth. They are coming. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending them. As Allah said in another verse, in another surah, يَوْمَ تَشَقَّقُ السَّمَاءُ بِالْغَمَامِ وَنُزِّلَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ تَنزِيلًا. When the skies is going to be split with clouds, and angels will be descended, will be sent down. So angels, when this sky is going to split, these subtle souls, heavenly souls that Allah created them, there will be given permission to descend in preparation for the day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to judge everyone. So all this firmament, all this universe that it is holding everything together, one mistake, it will crash. But Allah has no mistakes. Means it crashed by His order. And the example, to make it easy to us to understand, all what we are seeing of this universe, we cannot see how it is held with each other. You can see it? You cannot see what holding that system together. They found recently, which is coming in the new book we are putting now about the scientific science of the last days. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتُ الْحُبُكِ, the heavens and this thing, حُبُك حَبَكَ الشَّيْء, means that it is hold tight, like a rope tying it together, that these heavens and this universe and how it is tied together. And today they found with these big telescopes that they consider black hole before, it's not anymore black holes, it's long wires that they are holding the universe together. It is mentioned in Holy Quran 49 diseases. So that what is holding this universe, you cannot see. It's something, it is there, but you cannot see. When Allah wants to blow it up, in 1 second. And the example is what you have, what Allah has given inspiration to scientists today to put that whole computer together. You cannot see anything. Can you see anything? But it is an energy or a heat up. It heats itself, and when it heats these silicon particles, atoms, when an energy is given, these particles of these atoms of silicon heat up. When it heat up, it goes from a non-moving state to a moving state. You know? Yeah? Explain them. Who is an engineer knows this? You?
Yeah, what you said was right.
So it is what they call 0 to 1, 0 and 1. That 0, it's still, it doesn't move. When it gets a certain heat or energy, it moves that in a certain way they want it to move in order to give a figure, a number, a memory, whatever it is. I'm not a scientist. It's with minimum knowledge I have. So, means a non-living, a non-movable to a movable, from 0 to 1. That's greatness here. That it was 0. When you give it energy or heat it up, it goes to 1. Means when you surrender and you become completely 0, nothing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you that heat up, that energy, you become a fountain of everything. And it's mentioned here, إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انشَقَّتْ, when the skies, the interpretational meaning of it, the other meaning, hidden meaning, one of the hidden meaning. When the heavens, when the skies open, means when you surrender to Allah, when the sky or the heaven of your heart will split, means will be destroyed. There will be no more yourself. Angels will be coming, inspiring you what you need to know. That's why he said, when that happens, what will happen after it? وَإِذَا الْكَوَاكِبُ تَثَرًا, and then the stars will be, in English we have to say, when the stars are scattered, all the stars begin to be scattered in the horizon of the heart, in the dimension, the spiritual dimension of the heart. You will begin to find all these stars are scattered everywhere, enlightening all your dead heart become a living heart. It become from a non-moving station to a moving station, from 0 to 1, like the silicon of the computer, that chip. It was 0, nothing. You heat it up, it goes. Voltage, yeah. With little bit voltage, it goes up. It moves. So when you surrender, the heart split. When it split, that darkness or that will disappear. Stars will come out by angels that has been descended. And that's why when Prophet ﷺ was born, after a while Sayyidina Jibreel came and opened his heart. He split his heart. The first open surgery, 1400 years ago. Hadith and Quran mentioned that incident, open surgery. Today are doing that open surgery. Yeah, open heart surgery. Sayyidina Jibreel did it, opened the chest, opened the heart of Prophet ﷺ, took that place of shaitan, because Prophet ﷺ is ma'soom, took that, Allah filled it with light, with nur, with al-kawakibun tatharat. All that scattered stars are inside the heart of Prophet ﷺ. Allah is indicating to us, no, you have to know the high greatness of my, when I love someone, when I choose someone, when I perfect someone, who is Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I will give him from heavenly support. He gave him all that heavenly. From high, he is sending it to him. Alayhi afdalu salatu wassalam. Allah, Allah. So by this way, the skies of the souls and the secrets of the hearts will begin to open, and the light of stars, because stars indicate light in dark at night. So these lights, these stars show you the light. So always when we are in darkness, we look for a light to guide us. And that's why he said, Ashabi kan nujum, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, my companions like stars. They are stars that you can learn from them. They guide you. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his heart full of that light. So any person who follow the footsteps of Prophet, these stars will be thrown in his heart, inheriting from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَإِذَا الْكَوَاكِبُ انْتَثَرَتْ, when the stars are scattered, means when the stars begin to fall from its places. Now, in the literal meaning of the ayah is that the stars, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to bring a new life, eternal life, which is described here, means all this what you were seeing has to go. Means anything that was related to this creation, to this world, and you were seeing it with your eyes, that has to go, and an eternal era through the heart has to come out. Because whatever is being in dunya is fani. What's fani? Going to vanish. What is related to akhirah is baqi, is eternal, going to stay. So all this going to go. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing to you that that is going to disappear, something new is going to come. So it's going to fall from its places. And when it falls from its places, it's going to be a disaster. There will be no more light, there will be no more firmament holding together. It's like what happened in a computer. this energy that you cannot see, which we were speaking about, when there is a, you say the glitch or a virus, what you call it? You more experience.
Which we call computer crash or something also.
Crashing means everything goes, become to zero. You where you go back, oh, we need expert to get the hard drive out. The hard drive? Hard disk, what you call it?
Go to the backup to get.
No, before backup, you have to go to the computer. You find if there is something left on what?
Replace the hard drive.
Hard drive. There is also hard drive. So they have to go back to the hard drive to pull out what is there left. Because everything goes. So don't think that Allah doesn't know what is in your computer. That's why علمت نفس ما قدمت وأخرت. Souls will know what he has done or what left. Because they go to your hard drive back, pull it out for you, to check you, the backup. The angels have backup. Allah, Allah. So these stars will be scattered. And as we said, when you want, you come to a house and you want to destroy the house, destroy a house, what you do? No, before, not so sophisticated. You want to take the house down, what you take first? No, it's a house. You have to take the roof. So always you begin with the roof to take apart. Then to take the walls, then to come to the bottom. So first, because the roof is what holding everything, or what is covering everything. So that's why it begins. The Quran, subhanAllah, Allah's word show you how much it is very precise and very highly, the word of Allah, how much they are heavenly, valuable. I don't know what to say. This Allah's word cannot say valuable. They are already holy. So it begins from top to bottom. When you destroy something, you begin with the top. Allah is showing us our signs. سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتُنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ. We are going to show them our signs in the horizon. Means we will first, that horizon will be destroyed. When that connected everything together will fall down, the stars will fall down, everything surrender to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look, that space ship was okay up, and when it's small problem, Allah knows what kind of problem. What happened? Burned, completely gone. Nothing left. Allah, when He wants, nothing will be left. And this is a sign for you. That whole firmament, you call it firmament, what's firmament? Universe. That whole universe to Allah is like, if you want to say symbolic way, we are not saying that is the same, no. Like this space shuttle, what was the name? Columbia, has inside all these equipments, all these different like information desks, like stars inside that. For us as a human, like scientists, they think, oh, that's big for them because it is a space shuttle and have everything in it and so on. With small problem, it's gone. You think that whole universe, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, greatness is nothing. As that space shuttle is destroyed in 1 second, you think that universe cannot be destroyed in 1 second? If Allah say,
Less than 1 second.
less, if Allah say, be, it is finished. There is nothing left. Don't look at it, oh, how is going to happen? How is going? It's going to happen. Allah is saying it's going to happen. You are Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. You believe in Allah's word. You are a Muslim. You cannot say no, then you are not Muslim. Allah say, إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انشَقَّتْ means when it is going to happen, it's going to happen, or it's going to split. وَإِذَا الْكَوَاكِبُ انْتَثَرَتْ and when the stars are going to split. وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ فُجِّرَتْ and then when the oceans are going to explode, burst. Allahu Akbar. What burst? Oceans, he said, are going to burst. In the tafsir, it says that all these oceans, which, for example, I'm giving an example now. Atlantic Ocean, when it comes to the Mediterranean Ocean, if you look closely as a scientist, you can find that they don't mix together. There is a barrier there at certain place, and fish doesn't move to each other. Everyone stays in its place. Similarly, you go to Red Sea, or you go to Indian Ocean, or you go to Pacific Ocean, China Ocean, they don't mix. He said, وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ فُجِّرَتْ when the oceans are going to burst, means there will be no more borders, barriers between each other. They are going to explode completely, and they are going to become one ocean. All of them become one. When they become one, in the tafsir it says that في كشف الأسرار, it is mentioned that when the oceans burst and become one, that one ocean, it will swallow all the other oceans. And what it swallow all the other oceans, it will swallow all the water from earth. There will be no water on earth. It become like a very condensed dirt, and no more water there. No living means. When the water disappear, means there is no life. Why they say there is no life on the moon? Because there is no more. Why there is no life on Mars? Because there is no water. There means Allah is saying when the oceans are going to burst, means when the ocean goes, when by Allah's order, power, they disappear, means living, no more living on earth. He's giving the meaning of no more living. In the interpretational meaning, in one of the spiritual meaning, means when all the oceans, means when all the senses, hidden and known senses of the heart, dissolve completely and become disappearing, then they will, all of them goes together back in one place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be sending His light to that place. And that's why ما وسعتني سمائي ولا أرضي ولكن وسعني قلب عبدي المؤمن. Neither my heavens nor my earth contained me, the heart of my believer contained me, means all these different attraction that are attracting you in this dunya, when they burst and they go out, then the ocean of light of ma'rifah comes in your heart. That's Allah's light enter your heart. And what Allah mentioned the word in Arabic, fujirat, explode. Why it explode? It's a water, how it explode? Because when Allah exploded, water goes into a gaseous state. When the water, the molecule of the water explode, it's finished. It become what? A oxygen and hydrogen, a gaseous, a gas. Means because when the water is like a condensed, has a density that you can see it, but when become gas, you cannot see it anymore. Means when the that form that pull you, attract you from this side or that side of dunya will explode completely, gone out of your heart. That nur of ma'rifah, that like a gas, it fill up your whole heart from ma'rifatullah. Because gas can expand, can fill, a little bit can fill the room. Is not, Professor? They can fill the room immediately. Water cannot, if it is water. But when it becomes gas, when it explodes this molecule, it becomes hydrogen and oxygen, it fills the whole room. Is not? So it means the light of ma'rifah will expand into your heart and fill the whole, not only the whole heart, it will fill the whole universe. Means your light will be filling the whole universe. Because the whole universe doesn't weigh a wing of a mosquito. It has no value to Allah's greatness for a wing of a mosquito. From that light that Allah gave to Prophet, the light comes to your heart, it fills this universe. What you think about the light that Allah gave to Sayyidina Muhammad? What it will fill? Prophet went into Jannah, went into the eternal place. He didn't fill only dunya, his light filled akhirah also. Because Allah called him into this light of Isra and Mi'raj, to his presence. He honored him. So it means Prophet ﷺ light was heavenly and earthly. Not only earthly. وَإِذَا الْقُبُورُ بُعْثِرَتْ. And when the graves are turned upside down. How the grave are going to turn upside down? He described everything from top. He said, heaven split, moon, stars scattered, means everything will scatter into pieces. And then he said, oceans explode. There is nothing anymore left except that world with no water, no living, yani no more living. When he said the water gone, means there is no more life. So it come, okay, now we come to graves because they were there. These people who were inhabiting that dunya, they are in graves. Bring them out. How to bring them out? وَإِذَا الْقُبُورُ بُعْثِرَتْ. When the graves are being turned upside down. How they turn upside down? We explained that in Surah Zalzala. إِذَا زُلْزِلَتِ الْأَرْضُ زِلْزَالَهَا وَأَخْرَجَتِ الْأَرْضُ أَثْقَالَهَا. We explained that before. When the earth, إِذَا زُلْزِلَتِ الْأَرْضُ زِلْزَالَهَا, when the earth shake, when it shake completely. I explained that, I think, not in Tafsir, but in the science of the last days, the book, which is coming out. When the earth shake, if you have a sift, what you say, sift, and you are sifting, you take anything and you want to sift, what you want to be left on top, the rest will go down from the. So when the earth shake, إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها, when earth shake completely with a sift, he say وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها. The earth will bring out أثقالها, what was in it. And who was in it? People. So it will be like a sift, bringing them out, taking the dirt away. So he said, وَإِذَا الْقُبُورُ بُعْثِرَتْ. When here in this surah, when the graves are being turned upside down, means he is bringing Allah back those who are being buried down. It is said in many tafsirs that if you take your hand and you put it on the ground, on the dirt, and take up your hand, must be a remain of someone stuck in your hand from that dirt. Any place you put your hand on earth and you take your hand is a remain of a dead person. There must be in that dirt a dead person. You are holding and touching a dead person. So be careful. You are going to be dead one time, and people are going to touch you and dig you and throw you from one place to another, throwing your dirt. That day is coming. If it is not coming in our life, it's coming in the judgment day. Everyone going to suffer it. إِذَا الْقُبُورُ وَإِذَا الْقُبُورُ بُعْثِرَتْ. When the graves are going to be turned upside down. Allah, Allah. Is what is down going to be up, what is up going to be down, and you find yourself in Allah's presence. We'll continue that inshallah next time. وَمِنَ اللَّهِ التَّوْفِيقُ بِحُرْمَةِ الْفَاتِحَةِ.